Seed Haksabanovic could be on his way out of Celtic because guess what? He's not a happy bunny at the amount of game time he's getting, and he took to Instagram to post this. It was a black and white photo, and he said, "If they don't see your value, maybe you're not at the right place." Doesn't leave much to the imagination, this one, because it pretty much is. If Celtic don't value me, then maybe I'm not at the right team. It's time to leave. And you know what? He's barely getting any game time. He may as well move on. Now, there is some people here on YouTube that, shite their pants at the thought of Haksabanovic. They think he's that good. Now, personally, I don't rate him. I think last season in the Old Firms, he actually single-handedly saved Rangers for conceding quite a lot more goals in the Old Firm. Remember in the Cups, man, towards the end when Rangers are going for it, this guy on about 10 different counter-attacks messed it up for Celtic. And thankfully, from my point of view, he did that, or else it could have been real scuddins, even though we got beat anyway. But you know what I mean? The guy, it's just never really... He's not good enough. I'm sorry, he's not. Like, you look at like a James Forrest. James Forrest gets some abuse, like, for a guy that's been with Celtic, won so many trophies, scored so many goals. And then there's a guy like Haksabanovic who's done fuck all, if we're being honest. He's done nothing for Celtic Football Club, really. He's literally just a shit stain on them. And I've never rated him, to be honest, but some people do rate him. And like I said, shite their pants, which I think is a complete over-exaggeration. Now, the interesting thing about this is Burnaby liked this wee picture, liked this wee post. Does that mean that Burnaby has the same values as Haksabanovic, the same feelings? Because this was after another appearance as a substitute at the weekend. I think this is probably because we've seen Abada drop out. Now, I believe Abada was actually... He had picked up a knock, he was on the bench. But, of course, we've seen Yang start. Haksabanovic has even slipped further down the pecking order. But, Yanis Hadji didn't post anything like this. Yanis Hadji put his head down, actually spoke his mind in the press conference, but saying like it's the manager's decision. And then Yanis Hadji's got to move to Alves now, albeit that is on loan, and I think, if all goes well, he'll have a successful period and Rangers will either keep him and he'll perform for Rangers, or Rangers will make a pretty decent fee. Rangers already made a decent fee, 1 million in a loan fee, and they're covering all Hadji's wages, so for me, that is a pretty good deal. You can't dispute that too much from a Rangers perspective, but, he is wearing the number 9, big Haksabanovic here, and I think he's not good enough. And with Luis Palma coming in, another winger, Celtic, they do not need Haksabanovic. The guy, his numbers aren't that good. What Celtic need is, they need centre-backs, probably one on loan, and then they need, I'd say, another striker, because O is out. And if Kyogo picked up an injury, what are they going to do up front? If Kyogo picked up an injury, are they going to play Dyson Maeda up front? We've seen his shot against St Johnstone, almost took out the entirety of the Green Brigade, who I've seen on Twitter, looks like a few other members were having a brawl, were arranging for a brawl, in B&Q at Parkhead, and the guy put up a picture of like a stock image for that B&Q for Google Images. Absolute mess, whatever's happening over there. But anyway, guys, that is it. Seed Haksabanovic looks like he's on his way out of Celtic. And are you surprised about this? For me, it doesn't change anything, because he's just a bit of a nothing player. He's like a fucking Scott Wright. He's a guy that makes the odd appearance, doesn't really do anything, and that's about it. And he's a shite finisher of the ball. But anyway, till next time. Peace.